Hey again. Sorry, I'm like, where's the camera? Um, Still Haley Boyle, still a comedian, still mourning. Sorry I had to get a little political. I specifically try to avoid that. 'Cause I'm super political on my social media and shit. Not on Instagram. Instagram is mostly my butt and my baby. But let's be honest, it's a mental health vlog. God, I fucking hate that word. And it had to be said. Not getting Medicaid for all is a death sentence for a lot of us for a lot of reasons. And I wish people would fucking get it through their heads. But that's not what I want to talk about. Sorry, I had a little herbage. I was pretty stressed out, pretty upset about the whole no insurance, fucked up child support situation. And no one's able to tell me whether or not that means they're going to cancel our food stamps or not. So we just got to wait and see. It's a crapshoot. Silver lining, this whole coronavirus thing is driving down the prices of RVs. So, my dream of being able to move us into a little house that we won't have to move out of is becoming more realistic, more affordable. But what I want to talk about is I know I skipped a day. Uh, I was really, really tired, just really, really tired. And I actually took a nap. And that is very different than being paralyzed by depression and forced to stay in bed. Like I actually had a nap. It was restful. It was lovely. And then I just did some household stuff, did some dishes, stuff like that. I don't have a lot of contact with other people, so I have the luxury of being allowed to touch my face in these trying times. Um, so yeah, if you're indulging in that, there you go. Um, and I skipped a day and I took a rest. But I also drove into town and got some supplies, and I had an interesting experience. Now, mind you, this is like on my emotional hangover of realizing that A, there's no hope in regards to like Robin's dad ever being what we need him to be, and B, that it's my own fault, my own choice that we're in this situation, having to like deal with that. So I'm on my emotional hangover and I'm driving into town, and a few times people sort of drift towards the center lane that are heading the other direction and like give me a little bit of a scare. And there's this one particular intersection that I always like check like 80 times because I'm just like, so it feels like this where you can see the horizon disappear, where the road turns. I don't know the fucking word right now. Wherever you, it doesn't feel like it's far away enough. It feels like the cars are going to hit you, like they're going to appear out of nowhere like a shark out of deep water, and you're going to die at this intersection. Um, and then I had a nice chat with a friend and got some perspective, and had like this chat with myself, and finally, like in an honest way, was like, oh my gosh, I'm not ready to be in a relationship. I'm not ready to be in a relationship, you guys. I want it so 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 bad, and I'm not healed enough. I'm not prepared. Can't do it right now. And that's a crazy revelation for me. And I've said it before, and people have said it to me, and I've thought that I was like taking a break and blah blah blah, but I've never really believed it. It's always been sort of like to try to fake out the universe, like, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship, so now you're going to surprise me with one, right? Like, um, but no, it's not time, maybe soon, but not right now. Not right now, not today, not tomorrow. Not ready. And I don't know, it's kind of a cool thing to feel like it just feels different than like wishing I was in a relationship. Um, I'm having such a hard time with my words, and time is slipping away. It's not as hungry. It's not so empty. It doesn't feel like a missing piece. You know what I mean? It feels like things are the way they're supposed to be. Um, Looking forward to my little Belle doll arriving. Oh, but anyway, the point of the story is, so I had this little chat with my friend, had a little chat with myself, got a little perspective, and then on the drive home, God, the sky looked so beautiful. And I hadn't noticed it before, but it was so beautiful, so clear, and the way the trees were contrasted against the sky, it was just absolutely gorgeous. And probably I don't know, 3, 4 times, I kind of drifted towards the center a little bit and, and maybe gave somebody a scare. And then all of a sudden, I had perspective on the people that had drifted towards the center when I was on my way into town. Those were the people that were looking at the sky. So all of a sudden, I wasn't mad at them anymore. And then I got to that intersection and I did what I always do and I triple checked and I felt so scared going up to it. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, Haley, what did we just figure out? Like, what did we just, like, you have to know how you want to feel and you have to project that instead. And you can't sit here and be scared to death and scare yourself to death. So I took a deep breath as I was approaching the stop sign. I got to the stop sign and I thought to myself, everything's cool. Everything's cool. I'm protected. Everything's good, And I checked and I looked and everything's clear. So I go to cross the intersection and a car starts coming from over there. And I cross the intersection and I get across the intersection and I realize that car is a lot further away than I felt like it was. It's not a death intersection. That was my perception of it, the way it looked to me. And this has been for years I've been afraid of this intersection. So perspective is so fucking important. And believing good things and feeling gratitude and projecting what you want is so freaking important. It's just so, what it is it's weird how close, the deeper you get into things, how close mental health relates to spirituality and really, it just seems like a lot of things mean, they're talking about the same stuff, but they're using different names for it, Some people are calling it energy work and they're using different names for it. It really just depends, I guess, what appeals to you most, because the most important aspect of any of it is that you have to believe it. You have to be able to surrender to it and, go all in. So for me, I need the science. But the science is definitely opening me up to spirituality, because I'm like, well, they're not wrong. They just have stupid names for stuff. Or maybe they're cool names, depending on what your preference is. But whew, I don't know. On paper, everything kind of sucks right now, but I don't feel like giving up. So I think it's progress.